Hello and welcome to the Swamps. Today we're going to do a fun reading. This is going to be a reading about what your pets want to tell you. And this could be pets that are alive now or pets that have passed on. This could be whoever, whoever you've had as a pet. So this is pile 1, this is pile 2, and this is pile 3. So let's get started. That egg does not want to sit still. Hello, pile 1. This is a reading for what your pet wants to tell you. This is a star-shaped tiger's eye, so I suggest looking into what that might mean to you. Right off the bat, we could be dealing with a cat, so just wanted to say that. Today I'm going to read a little differently. I'm probably going to do the oracles. Well, no, I am going to do the oracle first because 2 of these oracles are going to tell me the energy of the pet that's trying to reach you. So, and this oracle is from an animal oracle deck. And I just want to say that it might have a different animal on this card, but that's just to represent the energy of your pet, not the actual animal that your pet is. So first we've got the eagle coming through, and this one's also to represent the energy of your pet. And we got a king. So I still get cat energy actually, because the eagle's a predator and cats are predators, and a lot of cats sort of carry themselves like royalty. So I feel like this is a cat, but it could be just an animal that acts like a cat. So let's flip over your tarot and start dig into the message they're trying to give you here. So we've got the Page of Wands and Death. Okay, so there's a couple different interpretations I could get here. This could be an animal that has passed on, and it's almost trying to give you the message that it's doing okay wherever it is in the universe. It could also just be trying to give you a message, and this is interesting. I really do believe this is an animal that has passed on because it's almost giving me a message that seems like a prediction, which is that you're going to be entering a new point in your life. This might be because your animal passed on. This might be, or this animal hasn't passed on and it's just doing that thing that animals do where they have that sixth sense and they just can tell that something's going to happen. So for example, if you're planning to move or if you're going to redesign the house or just change the environment in some kind of way, I feel like this animal knows. This animal is picking up on it already, is sort of what I'm getting here. Yeah. If it's not a passed on animal, if it is a passed on animal, I feel like this is a message to tell you that he or she is doing all right. And to acknowledge that their passing is supposed to mark like a new point in your life, interestingly. They're trying to say that, even though they're not with you anymore, this is sort of like a new part of your life. It's not like they don't want to be with you. Sorry. It's not that they don't want to be with you. It's that they understand that them leaving you is going to change you. And, it's not necessarily going to be a pleasant change at first, but you might gain something from this weirdly. You might have, this might help you learn to grieve in a more healthier way. This might just help you accept that there's points in life where you're going to have to grieve or, move on. This could definitely be something like that. But that's only for those of you this animal has actually passed away. But I get the feeling that with most of you, this animal is just aware of some sudden change that's about to happen. You might not even know about this. This might be this could be your animal saying the power's going to go out soon type thing. It might not even be like a huge change. This animal is just trying to tell you that there's going to be some kind of change and they know about it. Or another interpretation is that there has recently been a change in your animal's life. This one might be more relevant, actually. There's recently been a change in this animal's life, and on top of that, it is it's not happy with it, to be honest with you. And I get that from this king energy. It almost seems like it's not that the actual change itself is like hurting this animal or anything. I think this animal is just upset that it didn't call the shots, which is again another reason why I'm getting cat energy. Something was taken away from this cat, or something was given to this cat. Maybe it's like a new medication or something like that. Or if it's not a cat, just an animal. But I'm just getting mega cat vibes here. I know it's an eagle, but I'm just getting cat vibes. I think it's that tiger's eye doing it. But let's flip your last oracle. And this is another message from this animal. My energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. Okay, so right off the bat, I already know one of the people that's probably going to watch this reading, and I can confidently say that I know what this is about for them, but I don't want to just make it about them. But I'll still give them their reading real quick here. So basically, this animal understands what it did to get its environment changed, but it somehow feels entitled to you not doing that. So that's for one person, for sure. But the other part of this is for the grieving people. If your animal recently passed away, they almost want you to know that, almost like, instead of being like, I don't want to tell you to like how to feel necessarily, and I don't think that's what this animal is trying to do either, but they're almost trying to say like, don't let that sad feeling take over what you had with that animal. So basically, if you are really grieving that animal, instead of trying to be sad about it, try to think of all the happy times, which I know is probably going to make you cry either way, but I think they would much rather you be focused on the happy times than them passing, basically. Even though you're sort of still grieving, I think this is almost like a message to like grieve in a more, or in a less like I almost got the message just now, like, don't blame yourself, basically. So like, if you're grieving in a way that you feel like you could have done more, or you could have prevented this animal's death somehow, then this animal's trying to say, well, don't do that. You know, just, if you're gonna grieve me in like a happier light. You know, like, remember the good times, shed a tear over the good times, don't shed a tear beating yourself up, kind of thing. That's what I get from that. But yeah, so there's a few messages here. One is that an animal that has passed on is trying to tell you that they are doing all right and to not be too sad about their passing. Honestly, I'm getting the vibe to say that they are still with you and that they will be with you, spiritually speaking. And then the other one is that the other message is that an animal's environment has recently been changed and they're not exactly happy about it. So we're going to pull some charms real quick. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's been some kind of traveling going on, or like moving of the animal of some kind. Some of these animals feel boxed in now, whatever that might be. This feather does indicate that an animal has passed for some of you. Because I think of like angels. So yeah, they're just trying to tell you that for that group, they're just trying to tell you not to like, they're trying to tell you that this might have been a really special connection and that you might not get it with another animal, but like, be happy that you got it. And I relate to that. I had a pet pass away where that pet was irreplaceable. I'm never going to get another pet like that, you know? And it's tough to cope with. It's not easy to cope with, but what helps me cope with it is to remember that, you know, I could have never met that pet. I could have never had that in my life. I know this isn't what this charm is, but this is making me think of like the circle of life. So yeah, for some of you, the pet has passed away, but it definitely is doing okay. And then for others of you, this pet is just not happy. I hate to say that. It's not even not happy. It's almost like this pet is entitled, is what I feel like. It's not even like mad or angry. It's just like, I mean, I guess it's like irritated, but it's like entitled is the energy that I'm getting here. So yeah, that's pretty much all I'm getting here. I'm going to move on to the next pile. I hope you found this helpful. And, you know, for those of you, oh, I didn't read one charm. This is a heart charm, and I just feel like it's just, you know, kind of obvious what that is about. It's mostly about like, you know, specifically for the group that the pet is still alive and just irritated. I think the pet still loves you. He's just, or she is just upset that something has changed, essentially. But yeah, that's all I'm really getting for this group. We're going to move on to the next group. Hello, pile number 2. This is a reading for what your pet wants to tell you. It could be a pet that is with you now or a pet that has passed on. You chose the green opalite, and it's in a heart shape. So I suggest looking up what opalite might mean to you. And so today we're going to do it a little bit differently. Oh shoot, I grabbed the wrong thing. We're going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to read 2 oracles first to identify the energy of your animal. And then I'm going to read your tarot. And you guys got an extra card for this group, so happy for that. We always like the extra info. So, okay, so this, I want to just explain real quick. This card is from an animal oracle deck, and it's going to have an animal on it, but that is not going to be the animal that represents your pet physically. It's supposed to spiritually represent your animal or your pet. So we got the bee. This could be a really active pet. This could be a really busy pet, is kind of what I'm getting from that right off the bat. And then we got detective. I almost feel like this is a dog, because sometimes dogs like to chase bees, and I just think of dogs with this detective coming out because of like bloodhounds. So it could be a dog that we're talking about here. But let's flip your tarot. Okay, got the 6 of Cups coming out. So this could be a childhood pet for some of you. Got the 3 of Cups coming out. Maybe it's your childhood pet's birthday coming up. And maybe that's why they're coming through right now. Let's get the last one. And the 6 of Swords. Okay. Give me just a second to sort of digest the information here. So 6 might be an important number for this animal. If they're still alive, they could be 6 years old. Yeah, I feel like this is a childhood pet. They might still be alive. But for some of them, I don't think so. I almost feel like this is a message like that, like they're still here with you. I really do feel like this animal is passed on, actually. But this is sort of a message to me that's saying like they might have physically left, but they are still here. And they're like protecting you, kind of like a guardian angel vibes I'm getting. I do feel like this is a dog. And I feel like that's why I'm getting these like protective energies, is that it's just a dog that, you know, like if you were a child around it, it must have been like protective towards you, or was like trained to be protective. Yeah. I keep seeing, whenever I see the detective card, I just see a bloodhound. So like I can't help but think this is a dog pile, which is sort of funny to say because that is a phrase. But yeah, this is definitely like a childhood dog for some of you. Or just a childhood pet. I don't want to... And if it's not a dog, it could just be a pet that you've had in the past. This pet could make you nostalgic. I'm going to flip your last oracle card real quick. I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. Okay, yeah, I feel like this is definitely a pet that has passed on. And the message that I feel like they're giving me here is sort of an interesting one. This one's almost like, this is like, they're trying to say that this is, in fact, like, they're almost trying to say that they're like your guardian angel, is sort of what I'm getting. And I usually don't use that term, so that might be special to whoever this message is for. They definitely feel as though they are protecting you. They are, you know, they travel with you is sort of what I get from that Six of Swords. And then the Six of Cups definitely represents some kind of like nostalgia in this situation for me. I mean, that's what that card usually means, but like that's just, it just makes sense with this reading. Like I definitely feel like this is a dog from your childhood. Yeah, this definitely is, actually. This totally is. They want you to know. Okay, this is an interesting message. They want you to know that after they passed on, they're like, you know, they were still, like, they had a soul as an animal. I'm not one of those weirdos that thinks that animals don't have souls. So I'm just going to say that now. But once they passed on, they were almost able to get, like, a more complete, like, they were able to gather a lot more wisdom after passing on, if that makes sense. And they are almost pretty much like a guardian angel now because of that. And I get that from this card right here. Like they're like closer to God is sort of like the energy I'm getting from that. And I think that's why this worker bee is coming out, actually, is because like the bee has wings, like an angel. It's sort of like a little fairy guy. And I feel like that's just sort of how this animal views itself with you, is that it's like a little bee that follows you around and just tries to protect you the best that it can. And, you know, with this detective and this I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness card, I feel like there's just, they've been doing some kind of spiritual searching for you. I don't know what it's about, but if you, like, I think it's like if you try to manifest something, okay, if you're trying to manifest something, or if you cast a spell or anything like that, this animal is like out in the spiritual realm trying to help with that, is the vibe that I'm getting. And honestly, another message I'm getting from this is that, like, if this is a childhood animal or an animal that recently passed away, they're almost trying to say, like, don't mourn this. Be nostalgic of me. Like, you know, look back and be fond of me. Celebrate me. You know, celebrate me because I'm still here. It's sort of like the vibe I'm getting, especially with the Six of Swords. I almost feel like the Six of Swords is talking about how this animal has transitioned to a new state of being. And this animal is like a really, like, this is weird to say, but like a powerful spiritual being. They must have had, like, while they were on Earth, they must have been really connected with people and just their soul. And I think when they departed from Earth, they were able to, like, develop that connection even more, even though they're no longer in a physical form. That's a really weird message, but it's pretty cool too. So I'm not trying to, like, I didn't mean that in a judgmental way. It's just I've never really said anything like that in a reading before. But yeah, this is a really interesting message. I think that basically the essential message here is that this is your guardian angel. This is an animal that has passed and is now essentially a guardian angel for you. So we're going to pull some charms. Oh, you didn't get much here. Yep. It might have been a girl animal. And we have this dragon. I didn't get much coming out with the charms today for this pile. But what we did get, it could have been a girl. She could have worn bows, or her name could have been Bo. Or it could have been a boy named Bo. I guess that makes more sense. We got Saturn coming out here. Or just a planet, which to me, like, represents, in this particular context, this represents just spiritual knowledge. And so does this dragon. Dragons represent, like, spiritual knowledge. So this animal This is a really special animal in the sense that this animal was able to reach like even higher forms of consciousness, probably than you or I, after passing, which is crazy. It sounds crazy to like say, but I believe in it. This is pretty cool. You have like a little protector, is sort of what I'm getting from this. That's all I'm really picking up for this pile. So thank you for watching. I hope you found this helpful. Yeah, you definitely have a really strong spirit guide of an animal or like guardian angel, if you want to call it that. That's basically the message here. Hello, pile 3. This is a tarot reading on what your pets want to tell you, whether they are with you now or if they have passed away. You chose the onyx egg. So you could have a bird or some kind of like lizard. That could be who we're talking about here, but let's try to dig deeper here. Might not be either of those things. So today we are going to start off with 2 oracles that are going to represent the energy of the pet that's trying to reach you right now. This oracle, I want to just explain real quick, is from an animal oracle deck. And what I'm trying to do with this is not necessarily predict what type of animal we're trying to reach here. This is just to represent the spiritual energy of that animal. So let's flip it. So we've got the firefly. Okay. This could be a very smart animal, is sort of what I'm getting here. But let's get this one out of the way next. Yeah. Monk/nun. I feel like this animal is like very contemplative of an animal. It could definitely actually be a lizard. I think that might be why I chose this egg for this pile. It could definitely be a lizard, but let's flip your tarot, see what they want to tell you. So we've got the Star. And we've got the Empress. Wow, you guys got 2 major arcana. This could do with some... Okay, this is a weird message, and I'm not sure if this is for everybody, but this might have to do with healing some kind of fight or some kind of... I have a few messages actually relating to this, sorry. This could be to do with healing some kind of fight that you had with your mother or some kind of relationship with your mother, or this could be being this pet's mom. You might have faulted yourself for them passing away if they passed away, or getting hurt if they got hurt. You might have like faulted yourself in some kind of way for that, and they're just trying to say like, don't. They're trying to say that like, you know, to be honest, I'm going to be putting this bluntly here. They're trying to say, get over it. They're almost trying to say, like, you don't need to feel that way. You can move on from those feelings, basically. Yeah, I'm getting lizard vibes from this group because I'm getting really contemplative vibes. And I feel like every time I see, like, a bearded dragon or a gecko, they always look like they're meditating practically. And we do have the monk card coming out. And the firefly card, the reason that makes me think of like lizards in this particular case scenario is that lizards usually need to bask in light, and this guy's providing some light. I know it's not the same as sunlight, but it's still providing a light source. And on top of that, you have this light source, you have the yellow sky here. There's definitely a lot of light involved, and that's like the one animal I can think of that needs light for sure. So I am getting some kind of lizard vibe from this group. Yeah, this one's almost trying to say, like, don't fault yourself for how this pet was taken care of. Honestly, I'm getting a message that this pet is, like, really difficult to take care of, and they don't want you to feel like it was your fault if they passed away, necessarily. Another message that I'm getting here is that they just look at you like mommy. Like, they just look at you like you're their mom, or if you're not a girl, that you're their parent. They definitely look at you like a parent figure, like you take care of them. Let's look at the last oracle here. What do they want to tell you? I choose love no matter what. That's the card. So yeah, they don't want you. Okay, so like the biggest message here is that if you think you somehow wronged this animal in some kind of way, they don't view it that way. This animal is like very contemplative, if it's a lizard or not. It's a very contemplative animal, so it doesn't just assume, basically, is what I'm getting from this. It doesn't just make assumptions. This animal essentially doesn't assume that you wronged it just because you might have made a mistake at some point, is what I'm getting. Another reason that I think it's a lizard is because lizards eat like flying bugs and stuff. Could be a frog because there's water here. But yeah, I'm getting the main message, and this could just be beyond if it's a lizard or not, and I want to emphasize that, is that if you did anything that you felt like wronged this animal, they don't view it that way. Like, they view it as like it just happened, which is a very Eastern philosophy, to be honest. That's like very Eastern karma. This is a very Zen animal, is the main thing I'm getting from this, is that this is a very Zen animal. That also might be why the star is coming out, because I feel like this is just, I mean, this and the Empress, honestly, they look very like relaxed and just, they do not look like the world is bothering them right now. So this is a very Zen animal, whichever, even if it's not a lizard, again, it's definitely a very relaxed animal that is very unbothered most of the time. Yeah, this is definitely trying to tell you that like whatever you think you did wrong, you really didn't do wrong, or at the very least this animal doesn't view it that way. Basically saying this animal forgives you, or that you should forgive yourself. So we're going to pull some charms. Okay. The crown coming out. Actually, we have 2 crowns coming out. And we've got a dolphin. And we've got this guy. This guy, like, always comes out. Yeah, I feel like this is almost trying to say, like, move on. You know, grow. I don't mean this in, like, a mean way, but it's almost like grow up. Like, grow up and away from this. You know, don't beat yourself up for whatever this was. Yeah, this is a really smart animal, whichever animal this was. This is a really smart Zen animal. And I don't know what the crowns would mean in this situation. But I almost want to pull a little bit more charms, to be honest. They might help. Okay. Okay, that was not helpful. We got another crown. And a starfish, which I feel like the starfish in this situation is trying to say that this animal recovered from whatever it was, especially if, like, this is an example because I keep seeing lizard, but lizards, like, let's say you pulled your lizard's tail off. Lizards, I think, I could be wrong about this, but I think they grow back their tails. I could be wrong about that, so if anyone knows, like, correct me, but yeah, this almost might be talking about that. Like, this lizard or animal recovered from this issue or this thing that happened. And they don't want you to feel like they don't want you to beat yourself up over it. You know, kind of like what I was saying before. They view you as a parent. They view you as mom or dad or, you know, parent. And essentially, they don't want you to think that they view you any less, you know what I mean? They love you, and I think that's the main message trying to come across here, is that no matter what mistakes you've made with them, they still love you. I think that's enough for this reading. I don't feel like I have much more to say. This one's pretty basic, to be honest. I'm not trying to be rude, but it seems like the essential things that a pet would say to you, like, I love you, and not to beat up yourself, because I think that especially if this pet has passed on, they sort of understand how difficult having a pet can be, because I think they're able to get like a wider perspective after they passed on, if they passed on. If they didn't pass on, this is the pet's like higher self trying to tell you this. But yeah, that's all I'm really getting for this pile. So I hope you found this helpful. And thank you for coming to the swamps for your reading. Hello, thank you for coming to the swamps for your reading about what your pets want to tell you. I hope you guys found this helpful and just want to say thank you again for watching.